Okay, everyone, we're going to get started here in a couple of minutes. And so, welcome. Lots of people jumping on. Thank you so much. The lines are filling up. Very excited to share this information with you. So, let me just get ready here. Just having my latte. This evening, I'm at a very interesting place. It's a coffee house here in Las Vegas. Beautiful coffee house. A lot of coffees over there. All right, so let's see now. What did I do? Okay. All right, so thank you so much for joining me this Friday afternoon on this hangout. I know that you had tons of things that you could have been doing, but you're here hanging out with me on a Friday afternoon. So I'm very grateful to have you all here. So again, thank you. So this is Cheryl Dobash coming to you from my home city in Las Vegas. And this afternoon, I want to tell you a bit about myself, but I also want to share with you a system that I use to actually secure leads that I turn into prospects first, and then partners or customers in my primary business. So I'm going to give you the full scoop, the full details on exactly how I do that. So let me just get started, first of all, by sharing a little bit about myself and why I would even be doing such a thing. So let me know if you can hear me. Could someone just type in, Barb, can you hear me okay there? Joan, can you hear me? Just make sure that you can hear me. Let me see here. There. Yep. Okay. Perfect. Thank you so much. So I've lived in Las Vegas for 15 years, and I come from a business background. And I moved actually after 9/11 to Las Vegas from the Vancouver, British Columbia area. I have 3 kids, 7 grandchildren. They're all Canadian. I'm the only American. I was born in the U.S., moved to Canada when I was 14, married my kid's father, who unfortunately is deceased, and had an amazing life in Canada. And then after 9/11, decided that I needed to get back to my own country and see what excitement I could create there. And so my background has been in Canada, was providing services to people with disabilities. I had like 55 employees on any given day. I developed a supported employment program, a day program, and group homes and that sort of things, residential programs. Loved it, did it for more than 20 years, and I don't know why this is doing that. Okay, Google, please don't do that to us. So loved it, and burnt out from it and had to switch careers. So I moved to Vegas, started an event business, which I also loved immensely. I love putting people together, creating this energy that allows people to do enormous business together. That, I would say, is something that I'm very passionate about. So that was fabulous for many years, and then the economy changed, and so I had to make some shifts. I then investigated network marketing, found what would have to be in place to create an enormous financial freedom. I have a goal that within the next 2 years, which I'm just coming into the end of the first year of that, to help 100 families create an income of $100,000 a year and more. So I don't know if this is my connection. I hope not. I hope that this is going through okay. So that is my goal. And so then in doing that, I had to find the right company to do that with. Well, I found the right company almost a year ago. It's unbelievable. If you are not with that company, you can message me and I'd be happy to share with you what my primary business is. But I'm not going to talk about that here. What I'm going to talk about is how to build a business with social media. And I'm going to give you some ideas on a system that I used myself very successfully. So I'm going to tell you the things that we're going to cover. So first of all, it will be how to generate leads that you can turn into customers and partners. Number 2 is I'm going to talk about how I set up 33 appointments in 2 days and turned 11 of those people into partners. Number 3, I'm going to talk about so I'm going to share with you some scenarios of just what to say to be able to make that kind of thing happen. I'm going to also give you a secret of what, if you do this one thing every day, what it will do to your business, how it will explode your business. And I'm also going to share with you something that's very big, and that is how to remove all fear of doing business online or offline and create a massive income with social media or with your network marketing company. So those are the things we're going to cover. Let's get started. So thank you again. We got people still jumping on here. This is being recorded, and you can listen to it later. And so anyway, so let me start with number 1, generating leads online and turning them into partners and customers. Well, first of all, let's talk about predominantly Facebook. So what you want to be doing is branding yourself so that people begin to follow you. You want to reach out to people, send them friend requests. So you want to add like 20 people a day. And how do you add 20 people a day? Well, there's all kinds of places, which is for a different webinar, that I can share with you where to find those people. But when you find the person, you're looking for your particular target market, whatever that is, and it's different for everyone. And so when you find that person, you want to send them a little message and a friend request. And in that message, you want to pay them a compliment, and you want to share something with them so that they're going to respond and want to chat with you. Now, I don't know if this is stopping. I hope not. I hope this is moving on. All right. And so in doing that, so here's an example of what you might say. So it's like, I found this person that I'm going to share this with, and so it would say something like, hey George, I love your timeline or your banner. It's perfect for what you're doing. Oh, by the way, are you open to having a look at a side project? Or you might say, hey George, thanks so much for accepting my friend request. This is Cheryl, and I see that you're in Michigan. I'm in Vegas. So tell me about yourself. What do you do in Michigan for fun? It's opening up the conversation. And as you do that, George is going to respond, and the conversation starts and you're building rapport. So that's the first way in doing that. Now, let's go on to number 2. How did I actually set up 33 appointments in 2 days that I got their phone number, their email, and I got them on the phone to chat with them about what I wanted to chat about? So I'm going to give you some complete scenarios on that. So let's say that, first of all, you have all these people that are your friends already. So I went to the friends and I sent them a message. Hey, Susie, this is Cheryl. We've been friends here for a while, and I don't think we've ever chatted. Love to get to know more about you. By the way, I see that you do some online marketing. I'm doing a session on how to recruit on Facebook. Would you like an invite? Well, 9 times out of 10, the Susies and the Georges of the world, they say, sure, when is it? Well, then I respond with, oh, great. Well, what time zone are you in? They tell me Eastern. I say, awesome. Well, is during the day or evening better for you? They say, oh, I work all day, so the evening would be better. All right, I have an opening Tuesday at 7 p.m. Would that work for you? So Susie says, oh, sure, that's perfect. Great. Well, I'll need your cell and your best email. So she sends it over to you. That's how I got the phone numbers to get started right away in a conversation when I called Susie at 7 o'clock on Tuesday. And so then here's what goes on in the conversation. Now, this is how to build the rapport so that the person is just tied in and it goes into the next step of what I'm talking about here. And so I call Susie, it's ring, ring. But before the meeting, before the time, 7 o'clock on Tuesday, I also called or I texted her and said, just a reminder, just confirming our meeting at 7 p.m. Are you still available? Oh, yes, she responds back with yes. And so let me have a little drink of my coffee. I have my own special blend in here, even though this is a coffee place. It's delicious. All right. So Susie says, yes, that would be fine. I can be available for 7. Perfect. So it's 7 o'clock and I call her up. Hey, Susie, this is Cheryl. Cheryl from Facebook. And is it still a good time to talk? She says, yes. Well, I say, okay. Well, Susie, I said that I would give you some ideas that you could use today in your business that would assist you in getting more clients, more prospects, and so on. But before I start giving you those tips and ideas, let me find out a little bit more about you so that I could help you even more. Would that be okay? Well, Susie says, of course, that would be great. So then I say to Susie, so tell me now, you live in Michigan. Yeah. How long have you lived there? Oh, I was born here. She answers the question. Oh, do you have a family there? Yeah, I have 3 kids. I have a husband, da, da, da. So I see that you are in network marketing, and maybe she's with ABC Grape Nuts. And so, or Fruit Loops, who knows? And so I say, well, how long have you been with that company? And she tells me. And my next question is, great, well, that's awesome. So Susie, tell me, what was it about that company that really attracted you? And so she shares that with me. And then I say to her, so Susie, now are you making the money that you want to make? Well, most of the time, the Susies and the Georges of the world, unfortunately, say, not really. And so I say, well, I can give you some ideas that can help you in that, and I'll give them to you today. But so let me just ask you a couple more questions, Susie. So when you joined your ABC Fruit Loops, was it because you just wanted to make a little extra money, or did you want to actually retire from your job? So she answers that. And maybe she tells me that, no, I wanted to retire my husband. I want to send my kids to Harvard, whatever it is. Everyone has a different reason. And so I say, okay, well, great. So I'll give you some ideas, Susie, that can really help you. And then I say, all right. So, and you see, I've been making notes all the while here. I hope I'm not losing connection, you guys. I hope that you're able to hear me. And so just someone let me know if you're not hearing me. Thank you. So then I say to Susie, all right, Susie, well, before I share these ideas with you around Facebook, can I tell you a little bit about myself so that you would know how I would even know this stuff to tell you? Oh, sure. She's all in for that. And so then I tell her about myself. And, I share with her where I'm from, how long I've been doing this. And several times in the conversation, I say my primary business. I allude to a primary business. Okay, perfect. Thank you. I refer to a primary business without saying what it is, because remember, I'm teaching attraction marketing. Because let me just sidestep here a minute. So did you know that, actually, I'll come back to that when I'm sharing this message with Susie. All right, so So I tell them about me and, what I do, that I have these kids, my grandchildren, where I live. So they really can feel a connection because, no one wants to do business with us unless they know, like, and trust us. And a phone call and a video is one of the best ways to get that kind of thing. Know, like, and trust. So, um, so then I share that stuff with her about myself, and then I go on to say, okay, so Susie, let me give you some ideas about Facebook. And so I say, now, well, Susie, I don't know if you realize it, but there's more than 1.7 billion people online every day, and 66% of them are right there on Facebook every day. Facebook is a huge vehicle for any business if you know how to do it. But unfortunately, too many people, most people, they don't really know how to do it. And so you see, Facebook, it's not a place to go sell stuff. It's a place to go develop relationships and have fun and to socialize. That's what Mark Zuckerberg developed Facebook and social media for. And so you see, Facebook does not want you to put your links to your business. They don't want you to post the pictures of your product. They don't want you to spam people because that's really spamming. What they want you to do is develop relationships and brand you. So let me give you some ideas about how you would brand you. So let's just talk about your timeline. Because, of course, having a business page, a fan page is a must, but everyone needs to start with a timeline. So let's keep it to the timeline. Okay, Susie? She says, certainly. So I say, now, Susie, is this helping you at all? Are you getting any value from this? She says, oh, absolutely. This is great. I didn't know this stuff that you're telling me. Because really, most people don't. So I carry on to say, so what things would you be posting on your timeline, Susie, if you're looking to attract people to follow you and to brand you? Well, your banner needs to be something that's very positive and uplifting. Ideally, you have a picture of you within that banner. And you still have your picture over here. Having your picture there is an absolute must. You've got to have it there. So don't think that you can get away without having your picture. So if you're the kind of person that thinks, oh, I don't like the way I look, I don't want a picture, well, go and get a professional photo then, because you've got to have a picture. And so hopefully you're not the kind of person that thinks that you look bad and don't want to have your picture, because if you are that kind of person, you have to kick it in the butt or don't do business online, really. Because the stuff I'm about to tell you, you'll see why in a second. All right, so then I carry on to tell Susie. Now, so that's your banner. Now you want to have your about section completely filled out. So you want to talk about, like, who are you? Like, what do you do? And so you don't want to have your company name in there. You want to have, like, you are a mompreneur, for example. You're an entrepreneur, a mompreneur. You're a network marketer. You're you teach people how to live the best life. I mean, there's all kinds of different ways that can be said. And so you have your about section completely filled out. Now, why is this so important? Well, because the person's going to check you out, and that's where they're going to go and look. That's one of the places. The other place they're going to go and look is, what are you posting? They're going to want to see, what are you posting throughout this timeline? Well, what should you be posting? What you should be posting is positive, uplifting things. Now, I'll tell you a bit more about that in a second, but how often should you be posting? 3 to 5 times a day. Seriously, minimum of 3 to 5 times a day. And you want to be posting things that are positive and uplifting. So you want to paint the picture in that timeline of your lifestyle, number one. So when it's your kid's birthday, your spouse's birthday, you want to have pictures on. When you're on a vacation, you want to have pictures on. When you're out in the community, you want to have pictures. Like, you want to be portraying that lifestyle as true, but as if you've already arrived at this great, great life, which you have, obviously. So now we have people coming in. And so that's number one. So then what you want to do is you want to post positive and uplifting quotes. And where could you get positive, uplifting quotes? Well, you actually can get them all over the internet. You actually can go to Canva and make these beautiful picture posts with little quotes on it. You can go to Jim Rohn's site and find quotes. And so if you went to Jim Rohn's site and you posted a quote by Jim Rohn, and maybe it was about how to deal with fear. So you post the quote there, and under it you say Jim Rohn. Then you put your own thoughts, your own take on it. Oh, I'm so excited that I was able to walk through my own fear and get my business in high gear. Something like that. And so then you post it. Or before you post it, you say, share with us. So you ask for feedback. Share with us, like a call to action. Share with us how you walked through your fear. And so, because when people share, this is the next part, is that when a person comments or they like it, you want to go onto the post in the comment that they made and hit reply and say, thank you for the comment. And then you go and you private message them. You go and PM them over on their site. Again, paying them a compliment, developing rapport, thanking them for their comment, and then based on what you're talking about in that post, ask them a question of how they've dealt with it so that you can open the conversation and start building rapport. Now, this is exactly how I got those 33 appointments in 2 days, and I did it all on my cell phone because we were traveling. And I was in and out of internet connection. We were traveling from South Dakota back to Las Vegas. So that's a little bit now, Susie, on what you would post on your timeline. Now, there's another part that you want to be doing, and I'm going to share that with you. So I told you that there's one major thing, that if you do this major thing, you will create a huge following of people. Now, some people will be reluctant to do this major thing, but it's like, at this stage, it's kind of a secret as to how it works. But once you learn what that secret is and you start doing it, and in webinars to come, I'll give even more information on how and why to do this. But so here's what it is. It's doing video and posting video. Because you see, Susie, because I'm still talking to Susie, you see, Facebook within the next probably 2 years at the most, is going to be predominantly video. Now, how do I know that? Well, way back in 2014, Mark Zuckerberg, the founder of Facebook, said within the next 3 to 5 years, Facebook will predominantly be video. And so now you can do video not only on Facebook, but you can and live stream. And so if you haven't done live stream, that's for another topic, but I'll give you a few tips on that today as well. But so video is also happening over on Twitter. There's Snapchat, there's Periscope, there's Instagram. It's all video. So if you don't shift your mindset to video, you're going to lose a huge, big piece of business. So, all right, so now I say to Susie, so Susie, has this been helpful? Oh yes, by all means, this is great. I didn't know this stuff. I didn't know what you were supposed to post. And then she says to me, well, yes, I'm with ABC Fruit Loops, and I was posting my Fruit Loops on my page. And I say to her, well, what happened when you did that? Did you get any responses? Well, she says, well, in the beginning, when I first started doing it, yes, I did get some people that liked it, and I even got a business partner. But after about the first week of doing it, I haven't got anything else. No one even likes it. No one comments at all. So I really didn't know what was wrong. So she says, so thank you very much for sharing this with me today. And so then she says, but you haven't told me what your primary business is. And I say, no, because it's really not about my primary. It's about giving you some value that can help you today. Because you see, you really want, in this whole picture of social media, you really want people to understand that you are truly about giving value and helping them. And yes, you have this primary business, and maybe you have some affiliate things, and you have this toolbox of things that you can actually help them with. But you first have to know who they are. What is their pain? What is it, what in your toolbox could even be of assistance to them? And do they like and trust you? I mean, they got to know you a little, but do they like and trust you? Did you like and trust, and did you get to know the person in a way that you even want to do business with them? Because frankly, we don't want to do business with everyone. We don't. And when we talk about and think about our target and who that target is, we've decided in our mind what kind of people do we want to attract to us? Because what kind of people do we want to work with on it? Because when you're working with people in your primary business, you're working with them often on a daily basis. So you really need to like them. They really need to be someone that's not a complainer, that's not negative. Because myself personally, I don't ever want to work with people that are real negative. I hope I'm not losing connection. So, my cappuccino with my own coffee is absolutely delicious. So, all right. So, all right, now, I wish I could open it for questions. If you had some questions, you could type them in to the chat. And so feel free to do that. You can do that. Be happy to answer your questions. And so then I have one last area at that, and I want to keep this a bit short for you on this Friday afternoon, because I know that people have things to do on Friday afternoon, and I so appreciate you taking the time to join me here. And so the last thing is how to really kick fear in the butt and be able to move on with your business and your life and follow your dreams and just be the success that you truly want to be. Because it's there waiting for you. And when we do have this fear, what happens is we let it hold us back. It holds us back, and in some cases we never accomplish our dreams at all. We never get where we want to go, where we deserve to be, because we've allowed fear to hold us back. So I'm going to give you some ideas on how I got rid of fear. Because you see, quite a few years ago, probably about 15 years ago, I was terrified to make a phone call. I was terrified to make a phone call to talk about my business, is what I mean. I was terrified because I thought, oh, what are they going to think? Are they going to, are they going to judge me? And so I cared about all of that back then. But then what I realized is that they don't pay my bills. And what I also realized is that there were more people in network marketing making tons more money, traveling the world, doing amazing things because of their network marketing. So let me see. Okay, let me answer that for you, Nancy. Yes. So Nancy's asking the question. I always feel a little corny when I try to start a new friendship. Is it typical? I don't think it's typical, but it could be when you're just not done it enough. And so what I think I would do is think about myself. When someone comes up to you to start a conversation, do you feel like you don't want them there? You probably don't. In fact, I'm sure that you don't, because you're a very warm, passionate person. So I would say, Nancy, that it's the fear of being accepted that could make you feel a little awkward. during that time. And so when you're able to kick fear in the butt and be just confident of who you are and where you're going, and you know where it really comes down to, and this is what it was for me as well. I truly had to decide why I even wanted to do it. What was it I wanted to gain from it? Because I could have stayed in my comfort zone. I could have stayed over there in my comfort zone, not getting out. I could have stayed in front of the TV back then, watching Days of Our Lives or whatever it was, or reading my Harlequin romances. I could have stayed there on the wages that I had and not traveled the world and not done those things. But so for each of us, our why, our reason is different. And so what I say to anyone listening to this is that if you have not discovered why you are even building a business, you need to first discover that. Once you've discovered that and you have it plastered all over the place, on your wall, in your sun visor, all over the place, it's right smack dab in your face, then all day you're living that reason that you're doing what you're doing. And when you go up to a person to start a conversation, it's like being in the lineup at the grocery store. And so I'm sure you've all done this, and I'm sure everyone has done this many times. So you're in the lineup at the grocery store. The person has the cutest pair of shoes on, and you say, "Oh my gosh, those are the cutest shoes. May I ask you where you got them?" That's starting the conversation. That's starting it. Does it mean it's going to go to friendship? No, because you don't know yet. You don't know the person yet. But it's starting the conversation. And so that can be very comfortable, because you want to always be looking around at people as to what is there that I could compliment these people on. You want to always, what could I start the conversation on? And that makes it so much more comfortable. So then I go to the fear of making the phone calls, because that's where my big thing was. And Nancy, I hope that answered it, and I hope that there was a nugget of information in there for you. If not, please ask me another question, and I'd be happy to try to answer it for you. So now, what was I saying? All right. Oh, the phone. I've got to have another little drink of my coffee. So the phone, making phone calls, because when it doesn't matter, what kind of business it is, you've got to be able to talk to people. You've got anything to sell, unless you're in a cubicle. And unless you're in a cubicle and you don't do business with people at all. If you do business with people, you have to be able to talk to people. So, what would be an example of not needing to talk to people? Well, I've actually talked to people that thought that they could, great, thank you, that they could just go to this computer of theirs and make all this money without ever speaking to a person. No. It's not going to happen. It is not going to happen. And the sooner you realize that, if that's what you think, the better for you, because it's not going to happen. Social media really takes us back to years ago, where it was all about relationships then too. Only then we had people over for card games. We had people over for Sunday dinner after church. Do you remember those days of growing up when you went to church and the dinner was already in the oven, and you invited the people across from you in the pew over for dinner right after church service? So Sunday afternoon was spent in your home entertaining the people that you just were at church with. That was building relationships. Well, now we do it online. We do it on our computer or on our phone all the time. But still, people want to get to know you, because they don't want to do any business with you unless they know, like, and trust you. So you just have to figure out how to get a person to know, like, and trust you. And I've given you the ideas and the tips on how I do that. I do that every day. And every day I began to enjoy it a little bit more, because the way that I look at it is this. When I make a phone call to a person and it's a cold call, you never know who you're going to meet. You just never know who you're going to meet. And let me tell you an interesting, fun story about one of my business partners. She was making phone calls. And and I love this story, and I'm sure she won't mind me sharing it. And I won't say any names, but she got this woman that said, and so what this business partner of mine was saying is, she was saying to the person that answered the phone, hey, this is Cheryl. I'll use myself. This is Cheryl, and I see that you are in this business, and I just had a quick question for you. And do you have a second? And the woman says, sure. No problem. I'm driving, but I can talk. And so my business partner then said, well, she says, I've partnered with a group of professionals, and we're launching a new product in the valley or in the city. And I wondered if you might be open to having a look. Well, the woman roared out laughing. Now, why did she do that? Well, because her own darling husband is a big leader in a network marketing company. And so the woman says, oh my gosh, you must be talking about network marketing. And of course, my business partner said, actually, yes, I am. And so the woman continues to say, I guess you don't know who my husband is. No, my business partner said, no, I don't know who your husband is. Well, he is da da da. You should Google him. And she Googled him. He came right up. And so then the woman went on to say, I just have to tell you that network marketing is the absolute best industry in the world. It is a better way than any other way to create financial income and freedom. And so I congratulate you, she said, on making the call. And I urge you, don't ever quit. Never quit. It's not easy. It is a journey. It is a roadmap that you need to follow. There is personal development that's needed. Never, ever quit. That was so encouraging to my business partner. And she's told the story a lot of times, and I'm sure she'll tell it many, many more. And it is a great story worth telling over and over and over. So that's what I have for you today. I hope that this information has been helpful, that there's some tidbits here of information that can truly help you in what you're doing in your business. And I will be doing more webinars, actually several per week as my live stream. So go to my live stream on Cheryl's Network Live on my Facebook, Cheryl's Network Live. And you can also go to my blog at cherylsnetworklive.tv, and you can see my blog. Now, the next webinar I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be talking about the importance of blogging and the importance of videoing. I'm going to cover both of those topics in one webinar. And so have a fabulous, fabulous Friday and weekend. And again, I thank you so much for taking the time to come and hang with me here on this webinar. We'll see you next time.